Nikki Ebony, good evening. Sorry for the delay tonight. As soon as I came on, the phone went off. I don't know what happened. It just went off. And so right now I'm trying to... Okay, I think we're back. Yes. Oh, thank you. Omoba, how are you, Princess? Yes, I think we're all set now. Can you hear me on Facebook and on Instagram? Are we live on Twitter tonight? Where is Ben? Yeah. So it promises to be. Yes, I can see Uncle Chukwuka Jude already. Yes, a very efficient man. I like action people. Sorry, we were just a bit late, but I think we're all set. We're live on Facebook and on Instagram. Sister Laide Oropo, Eshe, thanks so much, Eshe Goni. Uncle Jude, how are you, sir?
Fine, Ogami.
Yes, is there any way we could have more light to your face? You can see the light on my face. We want to see your face, your facial expression. Okay, I think then can you move the camera closer to your face, sir? The headroom is too wide. Yes, good. A bit down and in the center. Okay, that should be fine. Thank you, sir. That's fine. Yeah, the light, we need all the lights on you, sir. Yes, good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our very, very dear viewers. What can we do without you? You're always there for us. Whenever we go live, we see you immediately. So, thank you, Uncle Jude Chukwuka. We have our usual protocol. So before we start chatting, we will play you a song that we believe you love so much from your favorite artist. And then when we come back, we go straight into action.
Okay.
Feel free, you can dance, you can do anything on this program. Wow. I'm sure
I
you are in your elements right now. Good evening, sir. And you are welcome on the program. Let me just adjust my mic a bit. Yes. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Clearly.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Good evening. The first question is to ask you to introduce yourself to my viewers. For the first time since I started this program, I refuse to do any research on you. I know only what I knew. I've not added anything to it. So I want you to feel free, no rush, no hurry, to describe yourself to my viewers.
Well, my name is Jude Ogomebunem Nabife Okuwa Diegu Chukwuka. Born to Sunday Dibiamaka Chukwuka and Nora Nwabogo Chukwuka. June 23rd, 1965. Family of seven children, two parents, family of 9. Fifth of the 7, primary school, St. Thomas Aquinas Primary School, Surulere. Secondary school, Archbishop Age Memorial Secondary School, Mushi. National Diploma, Federal Polytechnic, Ilaro. Higher National Diploma, Yaba College of Technology. I am married with 3 beautiful children and a grandchild.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, can we have your childhood days? What was it like? As I said, well, take it slowly because we need to know where you are coming from for us to understand where you are today.
Okay. I was born in Lawansin in Surulere, precisely 15 Fashimo Street, Obele Oniwala, Surulere, Lagos. Lawansin of the early 70s, early 80s, where we grew up, was a place of violence. Violence was like you could buy 3 for 1 naira, you know. Everybody was violent. And I grew up in that environment. I cannot tell you that I took the right decisions through a process, a thinking process. No, I just get to that point and I'll take the right decision. Like continuing from secondary school to Ilaro, it wasn't a conscious thing. I went to see one of my friends in Unilab that we finished school together in 1981. I said, what year are you in? Says in year 3, in a 4-year course. I just told myself, before this guy leaves university, I should be in a tertiary institution. And that's how I found myself in Ilaro. That year, it was wonderful. Ilaro is a wonderful experience, you know. Ilaro is a wonderful experience. For my classmates, coursemates, schoolmates in Ilaro, you mentioned Jude Chukwuka. Some will jump out of their skin in fear. But I thank God. Let me clear this. So when I say in fear, it is personal fear, not fear of group. I was never a cultist. I don't know anything. I am a man who believes in his ability and is ready to face soldiers. You understand? So I don't need a crowd or moral support from anybody to do what I want to do. Now, from there, I went to Yaba College of Technology, where I got my higher national diploma in accountancy. That period, there were issues surrounding my graduation, issues such that my school certificate was seized. It has to do with students and things like that.
What year was this?
That was 95.
1995.
95, yes. We had issues, and in the course of resolving it, I knew as a person that I wasn't an accountant. I was smart at, adding up figures and all that, but who an accountant is, I am not. So I told myself, I can't make a career, I can't force myself to make a career from or be on something I know I do not in myself qualify to be. I just shifted. Not that I shifted consciously, like I've always told you, I just get to a place and take a decision, and the decision turns out right. Now, here was I with issues and certificates, with issues with certificate from Biabatech. I didn't know what to do. But something just told me, hey, guy, you have been funny all along now. I was the MC for all of my friends that got married. When I wasn't serious to get married, so I was there, get married and get a free MC. You understand? So I was doing it for free and all that. So somebody just said, Jude, you are a very funny guy. You are this, you are that. You can act, XYZ. It was that time too that I joined a church called New Estate Baptist Church. In that church, we had a drama ministry. And in that ministry, there was this gentleman called Israel Ebo. That particular year, 94, 95, 94, 95, that session, Israel Ebo was the drama director of drama ministry. After directing me on church stages, he just called me and said, Jude, this talent that you are wasting can bring you money. That was how I started my commercial acting career, which was 1995. I started my commercial acting career in 1995. And I did 2 stage plays back to back. One was Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. Then the next was Elechi Amadi's Concubine, as adapted by God Philosophy for stage, So those were the first 2 things, and they were produced by Israel. I cut my teeth acting there. And from that point, I joined the actors. You understand that Abegi connection. You go there, you get used to people like Sam and all that. Then this home video thing was starting. Israel was the secretary of NANTAP that year too. So we'll just talk, we'll talk, Labegi, they are not doing it right, they're not doing it, don't be involved in what is not right, because posterity will hold you responsible for starting a project as big as film, an industry as big as film with faulty basis. And there we were from 1995. I was just doing stage play. Then we started seeing that all those big brothers that we're looking at, that they have condemned the home video thing, that they're not doing it well, started featuring in some of these things, to the point that they became stars in that area that they have told us we should not venture into. That was how I made up my mind I was going to do something for television or for film, something out of the stage lifestyle, stage circle. And the first audition I went for, I got a role, the first ever. I can't remember the script, but I know Tunde Olaoye, not Tunde Olaoye, the one that works with Wale Adenuga Productions, so it's Tunde Olaoye, the advertiser. So he was the one that produced it, then directed by Sabari. It was a wonderful thing. I still remember the thing like I did it yesterday, as far back as 2005. I still remember like I did it yesterday. And
you still remember your lines?
Oh, no, the setting.
Okay.
I remember the setting, you know. Those things helped me. I still remember everything I did then. Now, the next thing I heard was there was an audition, Common Grounds production, where they did it in conjunction with Bill Clinton Initiative and Nestle Food Global. So there was this audition, and I heard the first criterion rather, was anybody that has done home video cannot feature in that TV series. I was glad. Niji Akani was the casting director, and I went for the audition. Recommendation through Israel Ebo. I got there and I was auditioned and I got a role as Daniel Palm. My second ever audition, I got a role. After the first film, the first TV series was the second, and I got a role. I can say that the station ran for 4 seasons, which is 13 episodes per season. You know, I am the only character, the only person rather, that played in the 52 episodes. The only character that played from the beginning to the end. You know, and for me, that was a feat, because it was the largest TV series ever in sub-Saharan Africa. We were like 1,800 man cast, shot over 4 years, every year, and as well. So about 1,800 man cast, and that was a feat for me. From that point, it had been from one great job. I don't know. I don't know how to say something. I believe that it's not something, it was God. From one step to another, it had always been God involved. Because like I told you earlier, I have never gotten to a point where I will think to reach a decision. I'll just get to that point where I will take that decision and the answer will come to me and I will do it. You understand? So it was every step of the way to this point that I have been. Yes, it's been God. I've done any TV series that is worth its salt in the industry today must have had me on it.
Wow.
I was on the station. From there, Ojo's in the House. From Ojo's in the House to the Governor. From the Governor, Tales of Eve. From Tales of Eve, having Ajoche. I did the 260 episodes of Ajoche too. 3 years back, I played Daniel Palm. The story started in my house and ended in my hands. So I see myself to have accomplished. Let me be humble. I have earned my stripes without blowing my trumpet. I have really earned my stripes.
Please feel free to blow your trumpet. I remember acting a play in school, and it says, this is not a day for frivolous modesty. That's one of the lines in the play, and I will never forget it. This is not a night for frivolous modesty. Feel free, you've earned it, and if you've earned it, you can boast about it. Those who feel that they are bigger than you, let them also come out and boast about their accomplishments. So I salute you. So let me ask a few personal questions before we continue. So how old are you now, sir?
Next birthday, 56.
56. And then you are married currently?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you live with your wife?
No.
You are separated?
No. My wife lives in Akure, works in Akure. I work in Lagos.
Okay. Fantastic. And then your children, where are they?
With their mom.
With their mom. Okay. Okay, fantastic. So can you tell us your original background, where you came from? Because if you can repeat all your Igbo names again, I want to hear it. I think.
Well, my names are Jude, Ogomebunem, Nabife, Okuwadiegu, Chukwuka. I am a native of Idumuje Uboko in Anyocha North local government area of Delta State. I belong to the Nwoko family, but I bear my grandfather's name for surname. Nwoko's family is large, and my grandfather can come and disappear.
Nwoko's family?
Huh?
Is it the same family as Fred Nwoko? Ned?
Not Fred. Ned. It's the same. For the purpose of this discussion, it is the same family.
Okay, no problem. Yes. Okay, so do you speak your language?
Very well. I speak my local dialect very well. Let me eulogize myself for a moment. Wait, big bro, let me eulogize myself in my language. It's not, most of my contemporaries can't do what I'm doing when it comes to my local dialect. You see, for me, it is like the anthem of who I am, not the national anthem of Nigeria. And that is why I believe that we still have to go back and take our languages seriously. Because there are some things that you say. If somebody says this to me, no matter how angry I am, I cool off. You understand? So also, we have such a thing in Yoruba, Oriki. The moment you do it, head swelling will enter. Oriki, head swelling will enter. Then that person will just refrain from doing that which he had intended, which will not be good. So I can feel my language very well.
And then, do you speak any other Nigerian language apart from Igbo and Yoruba?
No, not as eloquent. I can greet in most languages, and it looks like I can engage you in a conversation because the little I say, I can say them so well that you believe that I can engage you in a conversation. You know, like I grew up in Lawansin, and which is a cosmopolitan area. On my street, you have Efik, you have Isan, you have Esaho, you have Agbo, you have Owere, you have Ngwa, you know. So it's like any house you enter, you will be able to communicate in their local dialect to some extent because those fathers will speak their own language to you in their different houses. So when you come to Mfonobong's house, Mfonobong is my friend from Etinan. The Afra will say, Jude and Ciro, Jude, what is it? You understand? I was able to give him response. You understand? That was how I could pick ta in most of these languages. But my Yoruba and my Igbo are in a different class.
Definitely. I studied Yoruba and I have a first degree in Yoruba. I can tell you that my Yoruba is not as solid as yours. So now let's come to the background, how you managed to study Yoruba. Because the Yoruba you speak is not the regular Yoruba, it's not Yoruba Eko, it's not Ajebota Yoruba, it's Ombele Yoruba Ogidi Yoruba is what you speak. So how did you come about it?
There are two, it is two-pronged. The first area I want to address is my process of growing up, and the second prong is my parentage. Okay, so it is two-pronged. Process of growing up. When I was in my secondary school at Bishop Agi Memorial Secondary School, we read one Yoruba literature, so to speak, Ogboju Odeno Borumale, Baba Fagunwa. Now, there was this girl in my class called Muibat Kabiawu. When she picks this thing, she cuts through it like hot knife through butter. No, just, and I'll be saying, God, when will I be able to speak Yoruba like this? Muiba, not the English. Not the English. If it's English language, I was the second best speaker in Lagos State in 1982. Lagos State School Debate. So it's not the English. The way she speaks this Yoruba, and I just started like, what? When will I be able to read Yoruba like this? And I get home, I rehearse, I read it, and I started learning how to employ Ami and all that. Then came the time of these, the NTA days of Bodialalade, Shola, what's his name? These guys, Big Bros, and all that. There used to be a Yoruba newscaster, Diran Ajijedidun. I will miss the news in English, miss the news in Igbo, but I will never miss Diran Ajijedidun's newscasting. Why? He opens with a proverb, he ends with a proverb.
Wow.
I couldn't keep those, or there was no way I would have kept such a reservoir of adages. But I knew I fell in love with keeping them, listening to Diran Ajijedidun. Now, there is another third stage to it. When Yoruba film started, Yoruba film that is Yoruba film, not Yoruba film because it is being acted by a Yoruba person, whether that person can speak Yoruba or not. Since his name is Sunday Olaoshe, it becomes a Yoruba film. You understand? Not that kind of Yoruba film. I mean Yoruba film that was Yoruba film. Like when you see actors like Lere Paimo, the quality of Yoruba they speak and the quality of delivery, both line and character, you are like, what? So you can speak Yoruba and still act like this. Baba Wande, Aisho Pepe, people like Fade Yoloro, Baba Woro, every word they say is either there is Ayajo in it or Owe, or you must get something out of it. A classical example is TJ's Shaworoide. Every time I watch that film, there is a new Yoruba to learn.
Shaworoide must be by my late professor Akinwumi Shola. He also wrote Oriki and Fushetan Niwura.
That Baba's role, every line is wisdom. Baba Shansoni, and I'm like, what? So this one was living. So those kind of things. From the point of how I grew up, okay? Now, from the point of parentage, my father grew up in Itoko, Abeokuta.
Wow.
So until he died, it is You understand? And he will laugh. But as he grows older, he started losing the egba because he went to the village and started eating pounded yam. But in his jokes, you will still catch the quality of Yoruba. Not the quality may not be in the delivery, but in how it is loaded. You understand? That's my father. My mother grew up on the island. She spent part of her growing up years on Lagos Island. All of our gists, Tokumbo, Cowlin, Shackleford, Lafia, G, Louis, just be mentioning all those areas, So see these two people who spent their quality lives in. But let me shock you. My father, as much as he speaks good Yoruba, he forbade speaking any other language, any language apart from our local dialect in our house.
Wow.
That became how we, as his children, became masters of our language, not even visiting our village.
Wow.
You understand? So that is the kind of parents I have. So when you put these two together, of course, there is an interest growing up. But there's this thing you also hear from your parents that lends some impetus to that thing that you want to pursue. At least my parents are good in this. You understand? Growing up, my mother, God bless her soul, was a princess, and they brought dancers to teach them how to dance in the palace those days. So one of the pastime that I do with my mom is to do those dances they did in Lagos Island, and that also keeps me connected to my mom and the language.
Wow. So which of the authors would you say impacted you the most? The Yoruba authors you mentioned.
Oh, I will shock you. The one that impacted me the most is Alawiye.
Yeah, for Dunjo.
It was Alawiye, and because in primary school, I could feel Amisori Awonro. Because the problem, you understand?
Yes.
Fastness, do, I could do all of those as far back as primary 6, which shows how much interest as a child I had for the language. So for how I became Jude, who loves Yoruba, started with Alawiye.
And then you mentioned Obojuode. Do you remember any character in Obojuode?
Akara Ogun, I can't forget it.
Akara Ogun. Ajantala.
When
Ajantala.
It was that Akara Ogun that didn't leave my head. The one that is cold when everybody is hot, and hot when everybody is cold.
Oh,
I think about his character.
Aramanda.
Sir?
Aramanda. Bamugbaye oru omomu. Boy oru bamugbaye otutu omomu.
So for me,
Ajantala is the baby, the mysterious baby who was born, and from day one, Oleja Akashu Eko Mejo Lojukan Mbe. Ajantala, Dio Fabio.
Lojukan. Bàbá ò lè pààrọ̀ aṣọ láyé.
Did you read Adebayo Faleti?
No, I didn't.
You didn't read Bashorun?
I didn't.
I loved it.
I didn't. I didn't. It was more of audiovisual and films that influenced my Yoruba more than reading.
More than reading, okay, okay. Yeah, reading is more tedious in Yoruba because of
that was the day, and you are there.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I said, yeah, the reading of Yoruba is more difficult, it's more tasking because of the tonality.
It is. It is. Yeah. But on my own, you know, like my wife asked me some years back, say like 10, 15 years, just asked me, Jude, in what language do you think? My wife attended the University of Ife. I attended Yaba Tech, where they did mechanical accountancy. It is what they send us to do there that we are doing. You know, university people, they be pursuing things that didn't pursue them in their course. So when she asked me in what language do I think, I'd never given it a thought. But when I gave it a thought, I was shocked at my answer. Because in fact, I think in Yoruba, if I want to tell you something, it is first in Yoruba in my head before I can tell you, even in English. So I thought, whoa. So this thing is so strong that it is the first thing that occurs to me. It must be in Yoruba for it to interest me.
Wow.
And that's how it was.
Yeah. Same thing with me. I think first in Yoruba.
At least you read Yoruba now.
No, my mother, my mother could only speak Yoruba to me from birth to death. She couldn't speak one word of English to me. So I had no choice but to pick it up. Omakuru to me means Jajabota.
Adelabu Tapanlari ìtàn ni let's move forward. Adelabu Tapanlari ìtàn ni àbí.
Ẹ̀yin gan-an ń pè ní ọmọ àtọ̀húnrìnwá tó wá jọba sílùú ìgbà tó
You know, in 2009, King's College had their centenary. I got some jobs on the side there. So at most events, because of my acting career and all that, they will let me in. So on this day, the Oba of Lagos was one of their special guests. So somehow, so we started talking, 4 of us in the group. So Chief Sonikuku was walking down, you know, a very playful person. He just gave me a slap on my neck. Yibo, kilo, you know. So Obaruwan was shocked. Yibo near money no sir. Only about yes. I am a Lagosian of Eastern extraction. Baba ni kilo njabe. Mene baba ẹjọ ẹmọ bínú o pé mo fi béèrè dá ayé lóhùn ń pé ìran Yorùbá wo ló ń jó ṣòdì. Kò sí ìran Yorùbá tó ń jó ṣòdì, tápà ni wọ́n.
Wow.
Àmọ́ we have come to accept Oshodi as Lagosian because wọ́n ti pẹ́ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. So ibi táwa ti ṣiṣẹ́ yìí náà káwọn ọmọjọlá ẹni kan lè jogún ẹ̀. Abi? He laughed himself off. Wait, Jude, kilo wi. Baba ṣe tún sọ ni kò sówó létí mi. Go. You know, nobody thinks in that direction. But òdodo ọ̀rọ̀ ni. Àwọn tá tẹ ìkódó mọ́ wọn. Àwọn tá tẹ ìkódó wọn mọ́ra wọn. Àwọn tán ṣe GCE tán wá di Trump kalẹ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ wọ́n mọ̀ra wọn. Wọ́n kàn jẹ́ ọmọ Èkó ni.
can I ask you, are there some similarities between Igbo language and Yoruba language? Because I know them are highly philosophical, proverbial,
yeah,
spiritual.
No. I just for a moment, this question, fella answered it for me way back in the 80s. I saw one of his interviews where he was telling people the relationship between Igbo and Yoruba. Like he said, what is this? He said, what is this? We all said, hand. He said, in Igbo, he said, aka. He said, okay. Now, what is fold in Yoruba? We all say, aka. When you see, aka, laughing, ka, asho. I say, I almost laughed myself silly. You know, that is common logic. He took us on another one. He said, what is stomach in Igbo? We said, afo. He said, okay. He said, what is break in Yoruba? We all said, afo. He said, okay. Where does Igbo ni oúnjẹ tí ń fọ́? Oúnjẹ ń fọ́ nínú afo. You know, but that is just the humor part, you know. However, I because I speak both my languages, I call them both my languages.
Your wife,
my language.
Your wife is from where, sir? Your wife?
My wife is from Idari.
Idari in Ondo State. Okay.
Then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is a Yoruba as melodious as yours?
She was brought up in University of Ife. I was a Yoruba. I'm on my campus.
Wow, àwọn ọmọ ajẹbọ́tà nu láyé ìgbà yẹn.
Àmọ́ Yorùbá mi ti dángájíá. Yorùbá mi ló jẹ́.
Ó lè kú. Yorùbá yẹn lè. So the truth is, this interview came about after I posted a video of yours last week that went viral. The video where you were talking about Lagos, Ibadan, and Ife. So at this stage, I wanted to
This is not the first time you are reposting my post.
Yeah, it's not the first time. I've always been fascinated by your post. You reposted my first ever attempt to do this, which was Wo by Q Dot. But that's true. That's true.
November, I still remember, because here was I.
Wow. No, I fall in love with talent. My respect for you is unassailable because of your rare talent. I told you, I have a first degree in Yoruba, and I am bold to confess that your Yoruba is superior to mine. And I thought I speak very good Yoruba. That's the truth.
Ọlọ́run ló lọ pẹ́ ẹ̀bùn lédè agídí ọ̀ràn. You know, I have had, and there is this thing about a day too. If you love and respect your environment, that is your hosts, there is that tendency to want to be like them to the point of speaking their language very well. Okay, in this regard, I see the Yoruba people as being homely, as being encouraging. If there is hostility against other tribes, then it could have caused explosion in the two other tribes. The thing that will make Yoruba blow, then the Igbo and Hausa part would have blown 10 times over. Okay, so I find it easy to speak Yoruba because I respect the environment and the people. You know, but I'm always shocked when somebody asks me, And then so Yoruba, I will tell them Obama is Kenyan. Nobody has heard him. Nobody has ever heard him say, "Let us look for the foundation of the oracle." He will speak his environment. So why are you surprised that I can speak Yoruba this well? Timbawal, America, at this age, you shouldn't be able to spot Africanness in the way I talk. But then, Yoruba ni, Ode Dumami, Ode Ngbadun, Abi.
I think the reason for that is because it is not common. As a matter of fact, even in Yoruba land these days, if you go to school in Yoruba land, they tell you vernacular not allowed. They even write it on your books, which I find very useful.
Our language is vernacular.
In the school.
Our language is the vernacular.
That's what they call it. They call it vernacular languages.
It's a complex. I remember when they did this Shango. Don't let me begin to mention names, but I was one of those that was invited to critique the thing. My first line, they kicked me out of the hall. I told them Shango does not speak English. And they have shot it in English. I felt very insulted. I told them, okay, gbogbo offer, gbogbo àyájọ́, ṣé gbogbo ẹ̀ náà lè máa sọ ní Gẹ̀ẹ́sì?
They are not translatable.
Wọ́n lé mi jáde, wọ́n ní wàhálà mi pọ̀ nítorí mo lódodo. Mo ní ṣé ká sọ èyí tẹ́ fẹ́ gbọ́ àbí ká kàn mú un pé kó lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwa la ní. Everybody say your mind. The first mind I said, they even took out my intestine with it. Ita.
Shagiri, Lagiri, or Lagiri Kaka, Figbe Dumbo. How do you translate it? Oriki.
Oh ho. Oriki head pounding.
Shagiri, Lagiri, or Lagiri Kaka, Figbe Dumbo. Orukuti, Orukuti, the Tindi.
Okay, how do you translate that?
Impossible.
Even one as simple and linear as how can you say in English?
Impossible.
The thing we tell Ogbo is here. The thing we tell Ogba is agreeing to. What we tell Lakoshe, do it, he will do it. That is okay, translate.
Wọ́n ní kó rúbọ nítorí ikú, wọ́n ní kó fàdìyẹ rànà kan rúbọ, ó ṣe ikú òpá ijó ní jó ayọ̀ ní yọ̀ ń yin àwọn awo rẹ̀ ń yin fá, ó yanu kó tó orin awo ló bọ́ sí lẹ́nu. How do you translate it? So Yoruba is too much. That's how I was asking you. There are similarities between the Yoruba language and the Igbo language, at that level.
Yes.
Do you have translations in Igbo language?
When I speak Igbo, I speak the Igbo I know, which is my local dialect. I cannot speak for the common Igbo or the other dialect.
But you understand?
Yes, I do understand. Now, I see presentation. No. Yorubas are flexible in their presentation. That's why you will see Owekan, Lona Maru. That is flexibility in Yoruba. But in our rigidity, Igbo, Owekan, Owe to bawa common is always universal. Couldn't change. You get? Then 2, delivery. Maybe because I enjoy Yoruba language, I may not be an objective judge here. However, I have heard some Igbo orators speak, and they've left me, wow, you understand? So, but more of this reaction comes when I hear people say it in Yoruba. The wow is higher with my Yoruba. Then another, I've been stating differences now. Similarity, maybe because they are words. That's the only similarity I can find. When a Yoruba man, a Yoruba man responds to mood in his expression, an Igbo man finds it difficult to even dare to know your mood, let alone know how to address you. He just says it like that. But even if Abi, you understand. So for my Igbo people, they come across as abrasive, even in their most romantic state.
And it's all about communication.
Yes. But Yoruba is sensitive to mood. They will say the same way, given the mood, and it will not be offensive. That's why I say it's, you understand. You understand? So you understand. When I told you will know there are some things you don't say when some people are around. Tomorrow.
In fact, MKO Abiola said something about Yoruba. He said, I fele kebo si, la fele jo. Ale pariwo ye, àwọn èèyàn sá. Adele sọ ye, àwọn èèyàn jó. Ye, paripa o. You see people running. And you see, ye.
So when the banner boy if you Grammy, okay, you So you know that.
Wow. No. You see, it's a pity. I'm reading some of the comments and I'm agreeing with them. It's a pity that we allowed ourselves to be divided. The African culture, I would not like to use the word superior or superiority, but I can tell you from my studies of philosophy that the closest I've seen to us would be the Greeks. When you talk about Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, and all of them, and that is why you will see that the first African to win a Nobel Prize for literature is Wole Soyinka, and his play Death and the King's Horseman was singled out for that award. So it's a shame we don't even, and our languages are not even compulsory in our schools.
Yes, that is where it saddens me. It saddens me, honestly. And it's important for this generation to know how we got to this point. If anybody is willing to listen, we could do a TV series on how we got to this point. You understand? It is a tripartite relationship. Àwọn ọba àti ìjòyè àwọn alákọ̀wé àti àwọn aláṣà ìbílẹ̀. Alákọ̀wé yẹn ó cover ẹ̀sìn méjèèjì. Àwọn aláṣà ìbílẹ̀ tó ti ẹ̀já alákọ̀wé kò ń bá àwọn alákọ̀wé ṣe. Àwọn aláṣà ìbílẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ la bá ṣe. Now, if you look at this tripartite relationship, you will see that at the end, two merged to stifle one, while the other swallowed the second. Let me say it this way. Àwọn alákọ̀wé àti àwọn aláṣà ìbílẹ̀, they ganged up against royalty. That's where you have anybody can be royalty. The ganging up is making it for sale. Now, once they have succeeded in putting royalty out of the way, àwọn alákọ̀wé took over àwọn aláṣà ìbílẹ̀. So when you look at it now, you will see àwọn aláṣà ìbílẹ̀ tán wà nínú ẹgbẹ́ tó dẹ̀ tún ṣe alákọ̀wé tó wá ń ṣe ẹgbẹ́ yẹn ní alákọ̀wé style. Whereas iṣẹ́ àwọn ní ṣáàkì, iṣẹ́ àwọn ní kẹ́ni làwọn náà ṣe, àmọ́ ó kọ́ dandan kẹ́yàn dìra bí ṣùkúdì kó tó bá wọn lò. You understand?
Ó yé mi.
Wọ́n sábà ń tẹ́ àbí adẹ̀ní aláwo nìkan ní sábà ń tẹ́ àbí. Okay, kí wọ́n máa ṣe wọn bẹ́ẹ̀. Wo
ìfúra lóògùn.
All this bí ti chloroquine kan o.
Ẹyẹ ò sọ fẹ́ yẹ kó kò ń bọ̀.
Mo ní ìfúra lóògùn àgbà bí ti chloroquine kan o. Ẹ̀mí tẹ̀ ṣe máa gbẹ́ra fún mi.
Ẹyẹ ò sọ fẹ́ yẹ kó kò ń bọ̀.
So I want to take this analysis and represent it in film manner so that we can see how these things evolve to this point. Tó bá dẹ̀ ká kó gbogbo ẹjọ́, you will see that the more people like you and I try to say, okay, let's find a common ground to come together. Àwọn tí wọ́n ti jẹ oyè tí ìrandíran wọn ò lè jẹ, tí wọ́n ti rora wọn pin tán ti jẹ oyè, àwọn náà ni wọ́n máa da kíní yẹn rú pẹ̀lú owó tán jí. Sooner or later, irú wọn sọ wá lẹ́nu, àwọn olóyìnbó túdé, àwọn alákọ̀wé túdé, and that is how the thing will just die off.
Wow. I am so happy I invited you to this show. Now I want you live to key Oriki of as many Yoruba townships that or tribes. I don't like to use the word tribes.
Okay.
Just for the sake.
Let me see. Ẹjẹ́ tí Ọ̀fà bẹ̀rẹ̀.
Ọmọlọ́fà mọ́jọ. Okay. Oh yeah.
Ìyẹ̀rú ọ̀kín ọlọ́pà mọ́jọ. Ọmọlálọ́mí abíṣujókọ. Ọmọ láàrin búure ọ̀kan ò gbọ́dọ̀ jọ̀kọ̀. Bọ́kan bá jọ̀kan nílé ọlọ́fà mọ́jọ. Ogun ọba ní kó wọn ní roro. Ìjàkan lọ́fà lọ́jọ́ sí. Ó sojú ebè, ó sojú poro lóko. Ìbá sojú olóko ìbá là wọ́n. Ọmọlálọ́mí mo rí mo dásàálà ńlá pa. Ìyẹ̀rú ọ̀kín mo rí mo dásàálà ńlọ́bẹ. Wọn ò pé ẹ má là mí ṣùgbọ́n ẹ má jò ó jìnlẹ̀ lápá mi ìjàkadì lóru Ọ̀fà.
Wow.
Ìyẹn lọ́fà.
Okay.
Ìlọrin gèrè álímì ìlú tó tóbi báwọn wọn àléégún ẹṣin léégún wọn. Ẹ̀yin lọmọ ajífi kálámù dámọlẹ́kùn àjíṣe kọ́ńdúkọ́ńdú. Ẹ̀yin lọmọ òpó kọrọbìtì tí ń bẹ lálẹ́ ọ̀yún nílé ọmọ ládìrín. Ẹ̀yin lọmọ òpó kọrọbìtì ọmọ òpó wájà kárọ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ọmọ òkú ò gbọ́ràn wọ́n ní akọjú ẹ̀ síná, iná tí ò gbọ́ràn wọ́n ní akọjú ẹ̀ sómi, omi tí ò gbọ́ràn wọ́n ní ká fi kún ọtí tó burú tí ò gbọ́ràn wọ́n ní ká fi fọ́mọ tó le mu, ọmọ tó le tí ò gbọ́ràn wọ́n ní akọjú ẹ̀ sógun. Àfọ̀njá ò gbọ́ràn ni wọ́n kọjú ọmọ mọ́rílé wá sógun, ogun làfọ̀njá lọ tí ò padà wálé mọ́, tó lọ sínú Ìlọrin, tó lọ tẹ̀lú Ìlọrin. Àfọ̀njá ẹnu dùn ju yọ̀dọ̀. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ìlọrin abọmire o.
Wow.
Ọ̀yọ́
Aláàfin.
Ajíṣebí Ọ̀yọ́ láàrin, Ọ̀yọ́ ò jẹ́ ṣe bí bàbá ẹnìkan. Ó yẹ ẹja lọ rè kálàáfin ọmọ àjòwú yọkọ lẹ́nu. Ọ̀yọ́ ibi wọ́n ti ń pé kó lówó tó pé gbowó, kí wọ̀fáwù fọ̀fàálẹ̀, ṣé kó lè bá a dìjà, kó lè bá a dá pọn ni, kọba aládé lè rí jẹ́ ń bẹ̀ ni. Ẹ̀yin lọmọ Aláàfin Òjò pàṣẹ kẹrẹ ọmọ Àtìbà, babaláwo ló dífá pé ìbílẹ̀ gbé ń lọ, òun làyé wọn. Ọ̀yọ́ òde òní òun làgbọ́ ọjà, ọba ló tún tẹ̀ láyé Àtìbà ọba, píníṣín lọmọ erin tí fọwọ́ yagi. Ọ̀yọ́ ló ní ká rìn ká ṣánpá, ló ní ká gbẹ́sẹ̀ kó yẹ èèyàn. Ẹ̀yin lọmọ bàǹtùbàǹtù nìkun ajífà. Ó yẹ ẹja lọ rí kálàáfin ọmọ kú tí kò gbọ́dọ̀ pa, ọmọ àrùn táwọn gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe, àgbàrá òjò tí bá ní ìjàpòdì bàbá ẹni lọ́wọ́ ẹni. Ajíṣebí Ọ̀yọ́ láàrin, Ọ̀yọ́ ò jẹ́ ṣe bí bàbá ńlá kú ẹnìkankan. Àbọ̀mire o, kábíyèsí o.
Wá o, kábíyèsí o, bàbá Aláàfin. Kábíyèsí, bàbá. Ó ga jù. Ok, ká tó lọ sí ìlú ibòmíì, ṣé ẹ lè kí fáṣá?
Mi ò tó bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ẹ tó bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ó ní kéèmí máa rù tó rù.
Yes, I think Ifa is probably.
It's a different ball game.
Eh?
It's a different ball game.
No. It's a different level. It is a different level.
I look forward to that challenge, but I don't see myself as prepared yet.
Okay.
But it's
I learned
challenge. Yes, and the beautiful thing about it is you can stop when you want to.
Of course.
Okay, you understand. So that's the beautiful thing about it.
Wọ́n ní kó rúbọ nítorí ikú, wọ́n ní kó fàdìyẹ ìrànà kan rúbọ, ó ṣe ikú ò pa, ijó ní ń jó, ayọ̀ ní ń yọ̀, ó yin àwọn awo rẹ̀ yìn fá, ó yanu kótó, orin awo ló bọ́ sí lẹ́nu, ẹsẹ̀ tí ó nà, ijó fà á. Ó ló ní kẹ́kẹ́ lógún, alábàjá lọ́gbọ̀n, oníkóló láàdọ́ta, adé àbúbákú tí sọmọ bíbí iná àgbọnnìrègún, ọdún bákú lèjì ẹ ti gbádìyẹ mi lọ, adìyẹ mi, adìyẹ ìrànà tí mo fi ilẹ̀ lèjì ẹ gbé lọ. Wow, Yorùbá káì àní ọ̀sẹ̀ yóò. Wow. Ó yá ẹjẹ́ a lọ ṣé Ẹ̀gbá ń kọ́?
Ẹja Adéfẹ̀. Ẹja Adéfẹ̀.
Ok, ká gbafẹ̀ kọjá. Ok, ilé bàbá wa Ọọ̀ni.
Ifẹ̀ òye làgbo. Ẹ̀yin lọmọ odòdó kan ò téré, ọmọ olódò kan ò tààrà. Odò tó sàn wéréké, ó dẹ̀kùnlé ọ̀sílẹ̀ tó dàbàtà. Ó dẹ̀kùnlé Adéláwẹ̀ tó dòkun. Oníké ò gbọ́dọ̀ jó, abàjà wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ wẹ̀. Ògèdègédé oníṣòboro ni ó mọ omi odò náà gbẹ. Ṣòboro míhùn mi, ẹ jẹ́ kí ibi dandan máa bá lábẹ́. A kì í dúró kí wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ Ọọ̀ni, a kì í bẹ̀rẹ̀ kí wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ Òyìn. Kògá kò bẹ̀rẹ̀ là á kí wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ Òdáyé. Bí a ò sì kí wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́, a kì í tábẹ́rẹ́ ojú bíntín ni wọ́n fi wò ni. Èmi wá kọ́ba nífẹ̀ẹ́ mo là kún. Ọba nílò ṣeéṣe fún àdìmúlà wọn ní àpàlàdò. bàǹtẹ́gbọ̀rọ̀ ní múfẹ̀hùn mi ṣẹ́gi ọwọ́ àti tẹsẹ̀ káfárí apá kan dá kan sí yéèpà òrìṣà aṣọ funfun ṣe bóun ló múlẹ̀ olúfẹ̀hùn mi àpadà rí ẹni àpàlàdó ènìyàn ẹbọ ojoojúmọ́ ní múlé wọn á sú mi lọ àwa ọmọ ní fìtílà rébété iná kò ní kú níbẹ̀ tọ̀sán tòru ibẹ̀ ní bàbá wa gbé ń kawó ẹyọ àwa ọmọ onílùkan elùkàn tí wọ́n fa awọ ẹkùn ṣe akédépé tí erin náà fi ṣe ọ̀sán lù oníkẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ yó abàjà kan ò gbọ́dọ̀ yẹsẹ̀ kìkìdá oníṣòwòrò ni ó jolù náà ya ògùn ṣe é dágbé babata ni òun mọ̀ wípé irin ti pọ̀ lágbẹ̀ẹ́dẹ òun bá ti máa lágbẹ̀ẹ́dẹ kò jẹ́ mẹ́ni fínà kábíyèsí o abọ́mẹ́lẹ́ o.
kábíyèsí onírìṣà káì. Ó yẹ kí gbogbo àwa ọmọ Ilé-Ifẹ̀ àtàwọn ọmọ àtọ̀húnrìnwá tó wá jókòó sí Ilé-Ifẹ̀ ọ̀gá àpawọ́pọ̀ àránṣẹ́ sí yín. Àwọn èèyàn ní ká fi àkáǹtì ránṣẹ́.
I want to be the cover of Ovation magazine.
Kò sí wàhálà. Ẹ jẹ́ kí ẹ jọ báńkì.
Wo post mi na. Say.
Your bank wo lẹ ń lò?
GTB.
Okay, GTB. Yes, account number.
Ṣé wọ́n ní máa lé mi kiri lórí íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì?
Ta ló fẹ́ lé yín? Kí ló fẹ́ fi lé yín? Kò sí kí ló fẹ́ lé yín lọ. Ara wa ni àṣẹrù ń bà yín ni àṣẹ lé.
Àwọn ọmọ ológun ni gbogbo wọn.
Irọ́ kò sí nǹkan tó ń fàkáǹtì yín ṣe. Àwọn èèyàn náà ń béèrè o, wọ́n fẹ́ ju owó sí ni o. Nítorí ẹ̀ ń gbóná lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ìbá jẹ́ ká ṣe o tó ń gbóná yìí o.
Oya manager mi ló fẹ́ kó fún mi ní 1 second.
Okay. Ó ń gbóná lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ mo ráwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan láti Chicago kan tó fẹ́ fowó ránṣẹ́ sí báyìí o. Ẹ dákun.
Ẹ má bínú. Oya.
Ọkọ̀ tí bá da ká wí tí bá fi ṣàyàkọ́ ẹ dá lọ́kùnrin.
04. 04. 26. 86. 94. 93.
Okay, and the account name is Chukwuka.
Sage Television Limited.
Sage.
Television, Sage, SATE.
SATE. Television.
Television as in television, then limited.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I think, let me read it out. 0426869493.
Yeah, correct.
Thank you, sir. Just a minute. I just can pin it. Correct. So, kato malo, àti ṣe bí wákàtí kan kọjá báyìí. So mo fẹ́ fún yín ní orin ẹ bá mi fún wọn ní ká lo Naira Marley kan sí. Èwo lẹ tún fẹ́ ṣe àṣopọ̀ tó yìí aṣọ lẹ fi bò àbí èwo lẹ fẹ́? Wúgẹ̀, okay. Àwọn àgbèsè ń sìn ẹ̀ dúró báwọn. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ sinmi díẹ̀. Tí wọ́n bá lè bá ń wá omi àbò róńbó àbí nǹkan kan kẹ́ fi wẹnu náà. Torí èmi ń dọ́gbọ́n sí bí o. Kẹ́ mọ́ ní ọbẹ̀ òní.
Ẹ̀gbá ọmọ Lísà bí gbòǹgbò àkàlà. Ọmọ oríjogún ọlá ọmọ òṣìlẹ̀kùn palẹ̀kùn dé àrídìí ògo lójú ogun. Ẹ̀gbá ara akémọ́jò ọmọ màjòjó lọ́fà ójó lọ́fà kúkú dìjẹ́ ní. Ẹ̀gbá ọmọ òru lásìkà ẹni ṣerú ẹ̀ lọ́sàn-án ó ń tọ̀ wọ́n ní farare lọ. Ẹ̀gbá méjì jara wọn níyàn bí kan bá ń wí èkejì a máa wí pé bá wa Èdùmàrè bá wa dárú ẹ̀gbá sí àṣẹ o.
Àṣẹ o, ó dáa ká tó máa lọ yá ẹ fún wa ní Naira Marley ẹ̀dá kan.
Nigeria. Never.
No, you are the best, Papa. You are the best. You are the best. You are the best. Ah,
no, thank you.
No, go on, song.
Thank you.
Cherry, I tell people when they say they want Nigeria to break up, what we stand to lose is much bigger than what we stand to gain. You see, we are allowing a few politicians to dictate everything.
So just keep ruining.
Who cares where you come from? Who cares where I come from? See what we're doing here tonight. Orimi, who join me?
Tonight, they don't see it. You see, iṣẹ́ ò dá. Ẹni tó bá ti fi mú kó ṣẹ́. Ẹni tó bá ti fi mú kó ṣẹ́ rí. Ó lè jí wóró pọn ẹni ẹlẹ́ni kó fi ṣoògùn kó má padà sí di iṣẹ́ yẹn mọ́. Èyí tó ń ṣàwọn. Àmọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kankan náà ó lè má ṣiṣẹ́ owó àbọ́lá o. Iṣẹ́ kẹ́yàn ṣiṣẹ́ ọkàn òun ni ọ̀dá rárá. Kò ní bìkítà oye tó ń ṣe nǹkan gbà tí kò kúkú lọ́kàn tá fi rò ó pé ó dùn yàn àbí kò dùn yàn àbí iná ní kò ń kọrin òun ló lọ síbi tán ti ní ó jẹ ó fi 2.3 billion naira kọ́ bíríjì pákó ló wá dákú àbí tán tẹ̀ka bọ́ lọ́fun ìyẹn odidi baálé ilé pẹ̀lú bó ṣe clean tó pẹ̀lú gbogbo degree tó ní he's just a common thief. You know, he may drive the biggest cars, lives amongst, but within him, when he shuts the light, he doesn't say, I'm a success. He says, I'm a thief, man. I'm a thief. And it is what he calls himself that he eventually is. When nobody is seeing him, what of himself. And you know, even when he lies to himself, he knows that he is lying.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni wọ́n ní èyí kò lè pàdánù irọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ni tá à ń pa fún ọ̀bámọ̀ ẹni tó ń parọ́ ó mọ̀ fúnra ẹ̀ ìpirọ́ ló ń pa.
So you know, when I see people like that, it is funny to get television license now. Terrestrial TV is close to 300 million naira. It is preposterous. How would people express their dissenting opinion when you now make acquiring license to run a television station to be that expensive? You get ẹni ò fẹ́ fún jàpá lóúnjẹ lání kó lọ odò lọ́sànwọ̀ àbí.
Ẹni tí ò fẹ́ fún jàpá lóúnjẹ lání kó rodò kó tó padà dé oúnjẹ ó ti tán.
Èyí ní ìjàpá oúnjẹ ẹran tó yára tó kó tó padà dé oúnjẹ lè ti tán. Èyí èjì ọwọ́ tó lọ sàn lódò náà kọ́ ló máa tẹ̀ wálé ni.
You see what I was saying about the wisdom and the philosophy in Yoruba language.
Yes.
You tell a tortoise, let's translate it for the benefit of our non-Yoruba speakers. You send the tortoise to go to the river. You put food down. And you say, no, you can't put your hands inside it because you must go and wash it. Please, this is a crawling animal. How will a crawling animal wash the hands and still come back
with the hands clean
to the food?
Which means he will go to the stream till he grows old.
He will keep going and come until the chef will
Yes.
Adowo niyen, adowo buruku.
You know, àwọn èèyàn wa kọ́lọ́hun gbà wá. Tá bá ní kọ́lọ́hun gbà wá. Àwọn tó wà láàrin wa kan ní kọ́lọ́hun gbà wá yẹn náà. Either wọ́n pín sí ọ̀nà mẹ́ta. Àwọn kan kọ́lọ́hun gbà wá lódodo. Àwọn kan kọ́lọ́hun gbà wá ká bá lè rí nǹkan tá lè lọ sọ fún àwọn tó wà lódì kejì pé báyìí náà ṣe o ká má ṣe ojú méjì. Àwọn kan wọ́n wà ńbẹ̀ pé kọ́lọ́hun gbà wá káwa náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe ìtànṣe lódì kejì lé yín lórí. So you know these three things Ọlọ́run náà ló máa eventually gbà wá.
Kèsè la rí kàsàkàsà ń bọ̀ lọ́nà.
Àbí.
Kàsàkàsà bàbá kèsè.
Àmọ́ tá a bá dákẹ́ náà ni.
Ẹni bá dákẹ́ tarẹ̀ á bá dákẹ́.
Tá a bá dákẹ́ náà ni. Káwa má ní títorí ìjà ò tí dé sàkání mi ò ní bá wọn kópa nù ẹ̀. Tó bá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ alábàágbé ẹ tí wọ́n bá dìde ẹ̀ di méjì ti ìjà ọ̀hún. Àmọ́ tó bá jẹ́ kó borí alábàágbé ẹ ìwọ náà ti dẹran jíjẹ fún kò ní rí ẹni tí á wá gbà ẹ́ lọ́wọ́ òun. Àbí òun náà ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí tán ń dú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ ní dú ẹran ní ilẹ̀ kẹ́ni tí gbogbo wa kọ̀ dákẹ́ kò tí ì dọ́dọ̀ wa. Àbí.
Kò kàn mí èyí ò tó fò
báwo
ìmọ̀lẹ́ fi ń kú
pẹ́. báwo tèmi ṣe jẹ́. kán lọ bá àwọn ọmọ Àfọ̀njá.
Èyí ò tó fò ó mà ṣe o.
Kò gbogbo wa dẹ̀ ń wò ó àwọn tí wọ́n tó ọ̀rọ̀ sọ tọ́rọ̀ gbó lẹ́nu wọn wọ́n ní ẹnu àgbà lóbi ti gbó. Àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ lẹ́nu wọn ti fẹnu jẹ dòdò wọ́n bá dẹ̀ ti fẹnu kó dòdò wọn lè sùn dòdò mọ́. Àbí.
Ọmọ onídòdò kò lè fẹnu sùn dòdò mọ́.
Wọ́n ti jẹ dòdò lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀.
Dòdò yẹn kan ti dé ìdodo. Kì í ṣe pé
ìdé dòdò.
Ó ti dé ìdodo, ó ti dé sàlẹ̀kùn.
Báwo lòdò kó wá jáde?
Wow, this is serious.
It is sad. And àwọn kan wà láwọn ọmọ bíbí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá náà ṣe kẹ́rẹ́. Bá ṣe rí ipò lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn olóṣèlú náà ṣe kàtìkàtì. Sàn láàrin ajé ní mú ní pẹ́kọ̀rọ̀. Ìgbà tí ìwà yín ò mọ́ òdán mọ́ ẹ mọ́ wá ètò tí ẹ ṣe sí náà ni. Kọ́lọ̀ ń gbà wá lọ́wọ́ gbogbo wọn.
Ẹ dákun mo mọ̀ pé ó sì kú bí ìlú mélòó kan tẹ́ ẹ̀ tí kì í torí ẹ̀ tí kì í ọ̀nà ìlú ìyàwó yín o kọ́ má gba ìyàwó lọ́wọ́ yín lálẹ́ yìí. Ìbò lẹ́mọ̀ ń bẹ̀ báwo ní àbí Èkìtì ìbò ìwò lẹ́mọ̀ ń bẹ̀.
Kò mà sí ìtí wọn máa okay, let me make you this promise. The next time I will be on your show, I will do 8 apart from one I've done today.
8
is a promise. When I get it, I'll just send you text. Bros, I don't ready.
Okay. Kò sí gbàgbà dáṣọ tó àrílẹ̀ fi wọ̀.
Àbí tán bá dájọ́ ọjọ́ pé tán bá dàgbà ìgbà kò báwo ni.
Okay, ó dà yẹn pé ó yìí kú tèkó tẹ́ ẹ̀ tí sọ Èkó.
Ìjẹ̀bú alárẹ̀ ọmọ Àwùjalẹ̀ ọmọ Àrójòjòyè ọmọ Alágẹmọ Ògún wọ̀yọ̀wọ̀yọ̀ ọmọ aládìyẹ ògbògbò mọ́gà ọmọ adìyẹ bà lókùn ó mìlìlì aró òrókùn aró òró adìyẹ ọmọ wọn ṣe ni ọ̀yọ̀yọ̀ ń yọ̀ ọ̀yọ̀yọ̀ má yọ̀ mọ́ òun ṣe ni ò lè pa ní ọmọ dúdú ilé ò sí ńlé lọ́jọ́ sí pupa tó wà ńlé òkúkú mẹbẹ́ẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ múrẹ́yẹ mọ́mà rókù ọmọ múrẹ́yẹ mọ́mà rókù tádórókù ẹyẹ mà ti lọ ọmọ mo ní súnlé mọ́mà lọ́bẹ ọ̀bẹ tó ń bẹ nílé kò mọ níyé ńlé bàbá tó bí yín lọ́mọ Ìjẹ̀bú ọmọ onígbò má dé ọmọ onígbò má wọ̀ ọmọ onígbò àjèjì má gbọ́dọ̀ wọ̀ àjèjì tó bá wọ gbòòrò yóò dẹbọra ńlé bàbá tó bí yín lọ́mọ Ìjẹ̀bú ọmọ eré níwà ọmọ olówó ṣẹ̀ǹbáyé kówó kúkú jì tó dé kó tó dowó ẹrú kó tó dowó ọmọ òṣàjẹ́ ń dàbò nílé yìí ni wọ́n fi pé igbá Ìjẹ̀bú owó kẹlẹ̀bẹ̀ Ìjẹ̀bú owó dúdú Ìjẹ̀bú owó àgbà Ìjẹ̀bú owó kékeré Ìjẹ̀bú owó Ìjẹ̀bú òde Ìjẹ̀bú ni Ìjẹ̀bú gbó Ìjẹ̀bú ni Ìjẹ̀bú sára Ìjẹ̀bú ni ayé pé Ìjẹ̀bú ni kòròdú Ìjẹ̀bú Ìjẹ̀bú náà ni Ìjẹ̀bú ọmọ onílé ńlá ọmọ aláṣọ ńlá ajúwa ṣe o Àwùjalẹ̀ agbe gbogbo wa o àṣẹ o.
Àṣẹ wà ní tìrèké.
Èkó àkété Èkó alómisá lẹ́gbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ Èkó arọ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀ má já Èkó àkété ìlú òkun alágbálúgbú omi ta ló ní àwò lómi lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹbí wọn pé ta ló ní abatabútú bàbá omi kómi ta ló ní abatabútú bàbá odòkodò Èkó àdèlé ibi àǹgèrè gbé ń sáré ju ènìyàn ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ méjì lọ ẹni wá sẹ́kù tí ó bá gbọ́n kódà kó lọ ìlú òyìnbó kò lè gbọ́n mọ́ afẹ́fẹ́ tó nípọn wà ń bèbè òkun tiwa fàájì tó nípọn wà ń bèbè ọ̀sà Èkó ọmọ òòṣà ní òòṣà máṣe kútere òòṣà àmọ́ gbòbí àmọ́ kútere àmọ́ gbòdìdí orí àwa lọmọ afínjú wọjà márùn gbẹndẹkẹ ọ̀bùn wọjà àwọn apáṣẹ ọ̀ṣọ́ ọ̀bùn ṣìọ̀ṣìọ̀ ní òrẹ́ rù afínjú wọlé bójú bá tẹ̀yìn gbẹ̀dì ojú òní lè tèkó lé o.
Wow.
Abọ́.
Ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ṣe o Uncle Jude ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ṣe ẹni àgbẹ̀ ìyànàkú lálóhùn rí kíní kan fìrí bàbá rírìn bàbá rírìn bàbá rẹ́fọ̀n àjànàkú kọjá mo rí nǹkan fìrí.
Bó ṣe tó jẹ wá lórí nǹkan fìrí.
Àrí nǹkan fìrí àrífín burúkú.
Wá gbìyànjú.
No, àrífín ni tẹ́rin bá fi bóun títóbi agbára wọn. You know what surprises me again about the Yoruba language and culture is the attention to detail. I don't know if you notice. Look at oúnjẹ, Oriki oúnjẹ. Do you know how the Yorubas will take time and eulogize food? Iyán lóúnjẹ, ọkà lóògùn, àìrírárá là ń jẹ́kọ, kẹ́nu má dilẹ̀ ní ti gúgúrú, mọ́ínmọ́ín ẹlẹ́mìí méje àjẹdìgbò lọ́kọ́ gbì. How did they sit down to think of that?
See, and you know, something just flashed in my mind. Another thing is the economic pressure. It pulls people from who they are. Everybody wants to make ends meet. You know, as a young boy and an early teenager, when I hear my parents talk about making ends meet, I'm looking at them and I'll be wondering, what do you mean making ends meet? Can't you ever take one end, put it together, wouldn't they meet? But you know, that was the thought of a child. But now, you know, if not for the wisdom of an older friend who had given me this immunization a long time ago, he said, "Talo pelolowo when I do ba lowe, baba ni en do ba lowe, oni wàhálà, mo ní báwo, oni to wo nba ti etan, wọ́n ní ó tán, wọ́n ní ó ṣàwọn ni." Baba kí wá lólówó, ó ní ẹni tí Ọlọ́run bá ṣírí ẹ̀ lólówó.
Ẹni tí
Ọlọ́run bá bo àṣírí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, àṣírí ló bò, bẹ́ẹ̀ni. You know, in terms of if you put on internet problem, Uncle Jude, it seems your internet, I hope we don't lose him, because we must save this interview. Network, oh, we must save this interview by fire, by force. Maybe I better save it before we lose it. Get kí save kini ká má lọ lose it. Padà wá nsìn. I said it. It's gone. Okay. But I'm still here. I am still on. But ẹ jẹ́ kí save ẹ. Ẹ má yẹ ká fi nǹkan burúkú ṣeré. Kéṣù má ṣe yán kọ́bẹ̀ má dànù. Ẹ dákun.